G'day, and welcome back to Derriere Farms. Today we're going to look at each map and figure out how to pick the best starter map for your playstyle and experience level. Based on the fact that each map has different sell points, different production facilities, and different amounts of fields. Then as a follow-up, over the next couple of days, we will feature a series of short videos giving you some basic pointers for each map as to how to maximize or really how to get started on each map. I've played all three of them and they're all profitable, but they all take a different approach. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead, subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified when each of these videos are published. Today we're going to start out with Erlengrat in the Alps, and then we're going to work westwards through Europe to France and then to the USA. Let's take a look at the overall map of Erlengrat. Now, I did a little bit of research into geography, and I'm quite convinced this is based on the Swiss Alps. Because much like Switzerland itself, the majority of the map around the north and the south are based on rolling hills and mountains covered in grassland. Ideal for animals. Again, according to the research I did, that's Switzerland. It also has a central plateau, which is relatively flat, which is where your arable fields are. Now, in total, there are 25 fields that are designated as arable fields on this map. I'm not saying you can't plow up these other fields, but they're not very even, and they're definitely not suited for a worker to use. So if you plow them up and plant crops in them, you will be doing most of the work yourself. Okay, now, in terms of production facilities, Erlengrat has a total of, I'm going to say 6. Why? Because the chocolatier and the dairy are combined as one production facility on another map, but on here they're listed twice. The only difference, they both take milk. The only difference is the chocolatier takes sugar. And there is no sugar mill on this map, or any map for that matter. Okay, so down here we have the grain mill. Then we have the sawmill over here. We have the spinnery, the chocolatier, the cheese factory. I think I covered the sawmill, right? And then we have the livestock dealer over there. Well, he's not really a production facility. I'll take that back. But over on the far east side of the map, we do have the biogas plant, which technically is a production facility, as it produces and it gets listed under production facilities when you buy it. So that's the 6. The BGA, the spinnery, the dairy / chocolatier, carpenter, sawmill. There is no carpenter. Don't know why I had that on my checklist. I think it's because on my other Let's Play map that I have a test on, I've added a carpenter. And then the grain mill. So those are, well, really 5 if you want to double up the chocolatier and the dairy, because they both take milk. The rest of the production facilities you are going to have to add yourself. And as we look around, you can see, apart from, well, let's go over here. Once you get into the flatter area, you're going to have to decide on where you want to place those production facilities. Or if you want to take an area, well, these are very hilly areas and it's going to cost you a lot to landscape them. So I would say pick a field and place your missing production facilities there. Now, in terms of sell points, Erlengrat only has 3 sell points. It has the animal dealer, where you can sell your cows, pigs, sheep, chickens, whatever you decide to raise. It has the railroad that leads to Felsburn, which I'm sure is a map that will be making a return at some point, as it was very popular in 19. And you have the grocery store or supermarket. Supermarket pretty much takes everything and anything, like it does on most maps. In terms of playability, as you can see, we have $750,000 in the bank, and this is my Let's Play map, so we're definitely not hurting for money, and we're now at the point where the farm is going to grow fairly quickly from here on in. Like I said, I think this is probably the most beautiful map, and that's why I chose it for my Let's Play series. But it has the least amount of production facilities and the least amount of sell points. So if we take Sunflower, for example, it's only got 2 available sale points. Same with grapes and olives. Wheat and barley have 3 because there's the mill. So you don't have the competition that you have on some of the other maps. But keep an eye on the prices and you can definitely make some good money. Moving on to Haut-Beyleron in France. And here we are in France on Haut-Beyleron. Judging by the architectural style, I've only visited France a couple of times, but if I had to guess, I would say this is in the south central part of France. It's definitely not in the northern Normandy area of France. It's further south. Okay, enough geography. But like I said, it is another very nice and very scenic map. As you can see from the overall map view, there are definitely a lot more fields than there are in Erlengrat. There are a total of 48 fields, ranging from very small, like number 1 or number 24 and 23, number 12, up to 26, which is a huge field, as is 19, and these are also some good-sized fields. So definitely no shortage of area to plant crops. In terms of production facilities, this map comes with a grain mill. It comes with a sawmill and a carpenter and a baker. It comes with a dairy, which is here, Fromage de Lune. It's a cheese dairy. There is no chocolate on this one. So while you have a specialized chocolate selling point in Erlengrat, you don't have a point to make chocolate on this map. So you would have to add a building or a dairy from your build mode. There's also a spinnery, a grape processing facility, and a BGA, giving you a total of 8 production points. In terms of sell points, there's a standard animal dealer. There's a rock crusher or debris crusher to sell your rocks from your fields. There's the railway or railroad running around the map that you can use to sell a variety of products on. There's also a farmer's market, a biomass facility, which is up here, a biomass heating facility. Now, note, this will take wood. So if you buy the carpenter, which is up here, or the sawmill and the carpenter, you've still got somewhere to sell wood once the sawmill gets full. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos where I don't think people realize that the biomass heating plant takes wood, but it does. Let's open up a help menu, and you can see it says sell wood. Debris crusher. Okay, and you've also got the grain mill. Oh, sorry, they call it the grain elevator on this map. So, you've got a decent amount of sell points. A little bit like Erlengrat, though, you have to be fairly picky when choosing a location to put your extra production facilities, because this map, well, this field's not bad right here. This is field 15. You could level this one fairly easily, but as you can see over there, it's fairly rolling. Down here by the livestock market, you've got 2 decent-sized flat fields. I don't recommend giving those up because they are the perfect size for various crops. Where I recommend putting your production facilities are down here, just north of the railroad station on field 34. You could make a little industrial park for your missing facilities. So in total, you've got 8 production points, 6 sell points, and 48 fields. So it lends itself to quite a different set of play styles. A little bit trickier than Elm Creek, a little bit easier than Erlengrat. Speaking of Elm Creek, let's move on to the mother of all maps. And welcome to the good old US of A. I think it should be a Canadian flag flying there, but I'm Canadian, so I'm biased. Geographically, Giants never really kind of said where this map was located. I say Definitely somewhere in the Midwest. I'm thinking a little bit further south, Kansas area, maybe a little bit north of there. Just based on all the crops that will grow. But then again, all maps will pretty much grow all the crops, so you can't go on that. Now, I call this, in terms of base game maps, the mother of all maps. It's got a little bit of everything. Let's take a zoom out and we will look. This is the hilliest part of the map. And the rest of the map is fairly, especially down here, is reasonably flat. There are a total of 82 fields. Now, 2021, 82, 79, 80. Those are small fields. And what I've ended up doing on my Let's Play map is I've ended up plowing all these fields together. And again, another reason to ring that bell is I will be showing you, if you don't already know, is how to combine your fields to create one large field. But anyway, like I said, comes with 82 fields. I think this should have been one field. This road should have gone up here, and these should have been 2 fields. But that's just my opinion. Like most of the Giants maps, there is a fair amount of wasted space. I don't know if I have it turned on. Yes, I've got my field, the new mod that came out. So this area here we're in, field 44, 45, all part of your starter map. As you can see, has a total land area of 6.4 acres, but only about 3 of those acres are farmable. And we'll just zoom over here. Actually, let's zoom over to where I've got my tractor set up. We'll zoom over here. This is field 53. It's 4.3 acres, and it's that are farmable, and it's almost 6 acres total. If you want to take a look at a map that's done really well, it is a mod, and you will have to download it, that doesn't waste space quite like these maps do, so you can maximize your farming area, is Calm's Den Farms. Anyway, back to the overview of this map. This pretty much has a little bit of everything besides 82 fields. We'll start over here. It has an oil processing facility. It has a debris crusher. It has a grape processing unit. It's got a carpentry business. These are production facilities, by the way. A cereal factory, a dairy, a sawmill, a grain mill, a spinnery. Now, like all of the other maps, there's a BGA2, which is right down here. But like all of the other maps, this one does not come with a sugar processing facility, nor does it come with a tailor shop. Those are the only 2 you really need to add to this map. And when I show you the various play styles of how to play each map, I'll show you some good locations for those missing facilities. Now, in terms of sell points, you got the animal dealer. You've got the railroad. You've got the grocery mart. You've got the farmer's market up here. You have a restaurant in town, which will take a majority of things as well. The biomass heating plant down in the southwest corner, which, just like the one on Haut-Beyleron, will take wood as well. If you have purchased and filled up the sawmill to make planks to fill or to feed your carpentry business, you can always sell excess wood down here at the biomass. And it's got a debris crusher, like I said. It's got the feed and grain mill here. And it has the Red Bull restaurant. So it has a total of 9 sell points. So if we look at wheat, there's quite a few more sell points than there were on the other maps. Soybean, there's no production facility for that, so you're limited a little bit. Potatoes. So you definitely have some competition on this map as to where you can sell your products. Because it's got so much ready to go, I would say it would be the ideal map for a beginner. Now, you probably go, well, I already figured that out because I'm playing on the map. Because the tutorial led you there, and it was the first map on the list. But Haut-Beyleron also has a tutorial series. So, the reason I say this is probably the easiest map to play on is because, being the flattest map, if you do want to go ahead and add the sugar mill and the tailor shop to round out your production facilities when your farm gets big enough to afford them all. And I say that because I don't want to encourage people to overexpand their farms too quickly, especially if you're a new player. But this is definitely, there are definitely enough places on this map where you can expand into. The one thing it's missing, I found on my map I'm playing personally, is it's hard to find without ripping up one of your fields. And if you look at what I mean here, it was kind of hard for me, and it took a while to choose where I wanted to plant or place my animal pens. Because again, they need reasonably flat ground if you don't want to have difficulty getting in and out of them. But that was really the only problem I had with this map. And if you've followed my complete beginner's guide, this is the map I chose to use to do that. If you are a beginner, I definitely would check it out. I will link it at the end. But overall, this one probably the easiest. But like I said, Haut-Beyleron and Erlengrat, you can also build up a fairly decent farm fairly quickly with a slightly different play style. Anyway, that's my recommendation to you, especially if you're a new player. Take care. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. A like never hurt anyone. And we will see you in the next series of videos.